Wow, here we are today. Welcome everyone to our Tuesday night chat. We're so glad to have you here. Tuesday, the 20th of February. It's the Community Connections from My Self-Reliance. I'm Kelly Wilkins, your host. And tonight I have put together a very special presentation for you. But before we jump into that, I wanted just to let you all know what's coming up. In My Self-Reliance, we have some huge events to kick off for the year. We have a huge expo coming up in May that we're busily, excitedly getting ready for, with stalls and speakers. We're going to have workshops, pony rides, fire truck demonstrations. We've got food, and it's going to be lots of fun. So come along to Kenthurst from 10 till 4 p.m. You can get your free ticket on the website, myselfreliance.com.au. And if you would like to be a presenter or a workshop holder or even a stall holder, you can go to the website and register your product and service there and come and show us all what you have that really aligns with our branding. We also have in March and April, so before we get to our big expo, we have 2 fermentation events. So if you would like to learn about the basics of fermentation, in April we'll run the condiments fermentation, and that will be held in March and in April, and I will post the details of that on the website. Very, very exciting, and that will be held in Sydney, at my home. So you'll be welcome and to come and experience all those lovely tasty treats ran by the beautiful Candice Coughlin. So looking forward to that. All right. Now on to the main event. Tonight, you're going to hear about how to start a morning routine. This is something that we've been doing for the last almost 2 years. The first time I've really shared it, this format tonight. So I hope you enjoy. So to get started, I want you to put an emoji, a thumbs up emoji in the chat if you are busy and juggling a lot on your plate. Yeah, here comes all the thumbs. Yeah. Now put a letter A in the chat if you would like to be more productive. Yeah, don't we all? Very good.
I've lost the chat.
Letter A. I'll count you in then, Maria.
Yeah, here it goes. I was at the side.
Perhaps you start out with great intentions to get a lot done, but maybe you feel frazzled at the end of the day. Maybe you find yourself distracted and pulled in every direction. Possibly you have big goals and dreams, but as each day goes by, you feel like you're on Groundhog Day. Now imagine waking up with energy and vitality, excited for the day ahead. Picture this. You've ticked off all those small annoying tasks that you had on your to-do list, and now you're able to live outside of your wildest dreams and really complete those things that you've been dying to do. Imagine showing up the best version of you, impacting the world around you, especially the ones you love and who love you most. So would you agree that to go from here to here, something has to change? If you agree, put a thumbs up emoji. So why is now the time? The truth is that every day that you don't show up for yourself is another day gone. We only have today and today and today. Yesterday's past, tomorrow's the future, but we have today. And then one great day can be the start of something new. Now matters more than any other time in your life, and we can't wait for someday. Have you ever asked yourself, what would it take for me to make my goals and dreams come true? Well, if you were with me in November 2013, you would have seen me sitting at my computer table, nursing a baby girl under one hand, feeding a toddler with the other, telling the 3-year-old to go to the potty, all whilst my husband sat on the couch with a broken foot. I was waking up late. I was staying up late and feeling frazzled whilst trying to run my consultancy health and wellness business and really just not getting anywhere. I wanted to change the world, but at this point, I just needed to learn how to change out of my pajamas. I wondered how I was going to get ahead. And then my mentor told me to read a book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. In it, he teaches the 6 things you can do in the first hour of waking up that are the secret sauce to creating your most productive day, which leads to a rewarding life. I tried these habits and I took on some online DIY courses, which are all about how to create powerful morning routines, but I lacked someone to hold me accountable. So it was a long road ahead to develop new habits. Now, fast forward to the 31st of March, 2021. A local networking group that I attended, run by Leanne Shelton, asked for presenters. And I offered to give a presentation on this amazing book that I'd read all those years ago. This book had changed my life. And now I wanted to empower others the same way to help me. I was now reading, exercising, and meditating in the mornings and thriving in my business. We were gathered in a downstairs in a cute little cafe in Baulkham Hills. There was 12 people and a whiteboard, and I had my charts, and I gave a fantastic presentation. They loved it, and I was so proud of myself. The next day, I was sitting in the car with my friend and speaking coach, Sarah. It was a sunny, warm afternoon, and as we sat in her car waiting for her daughter to come out of school, I shared with her the talk that I'd done the day before. And Sarah, with her cute bow in her hair and blonde hair and big blue eyes, looked at me and she said, "I'm going to say something to you that once you hear it, you can never unhear it. Are you ready?" I looked at her with some excitement and a little bit of trepidation, and I said, "Yes." She said, "Why are you selling someone else's book? Is he paying you?" It was then and there that we created the 5-day program called the Jigsaw Method, based on the habits that I'd been practicing that had changed my life. When I look back and I recall the person that I was and who I've become, I'm proud to say that I'm out there doing my best to change the world. Last year, along with my beautiful team, we ran a massive event every 3 months. We held an expo in April, a summit in July, and a 3-day festival in October. Along with these weekly podcasts or Zoom calls that we do, always being there for my kiddos. I'm so grateful for the mentors in my life, the books, and the coaches that have all held me accountable and guided me along the way to help me achieve my goals and dreams. And now I set out to empower others just as I felt empowered. And thanks to Sarah and my many coaches, I do that through the Jigsaw Method. So when you consider how your day starts, there's one thing that impacts you more than anything else that determines your success. When you don't get this thing right, you feel rushed and anxious and at the effect of circumstances. When you do this well, you'll meet the day with calm and confidence and a well-constructed plan. So what is that one thing? It's the time that you get up. So what do statistics tell us? Surveys of 1,086 CEOs of Fortune 500 companies in the USA in 2022 found that 64% of CEOs wake up by 6 a.m. or earlier. And nearly 9 out of 10 CEO surveys rise no later than 7 a.m. Why? Because early risers tend to be more productive. They're proactive rather than reactive and experience better overall health outcomes. I believe that prioritizing self-care in the morning can contribute to improved mental and physical well-being. So I'm going to get Cherie to bring up our first slide. This is the jigsaw method, when all the pieces come together. Beautiful. This is the one. Okay, so he wrote this book, The Miracle Morning, which really saved my life. L. Halrod shares in this book how he suffered two major setbacks. The first one being a serious car accident that left him dead for more than 6 minutes. With his positive mental attitude, he was able to not only walk again, which the doctor said that he wouldn't, but he walked within the first 2 weeks of waking up out of his coma. Hal Elrod suffered a huge business loss, huge financial loss, which he said was actually worse than coming back from the dead, if you can believe. But again, with his determination and his positive mental attitude, he developed this morning routine that helped him overcome adversity and achieve success all over again. In waking up early and putting together this routine, it helped him in every area of life. Now, the question is, how do you actually get up in the morning if you're not an early riser? Now, I must confess that I was never an early riser. I was what you would call a night owl, or burn the candle at both ends kind of a gal. So this is where I found having accountability, more than just having a book, what was the thing that was the real determining factor. But let's have a look at, I'm going to give you some tips to help you become an early riser if you're not already. Okay, tip number 1, establish a consistent sleep schedule. So going to bed at the same time each day and waking up at the same time each day, even on the weekends, helps us regulate our internal body clock. Create a bedtime routine. So the way that you go to bed sets the tone for how you wake up. And if you tell yourself before you go to bed the time that you're going to wake up, and give yourself some positive affirmations before you go to bed, then you'll more than likely wake up that time that you said that you would. Number 3, limit screen time before bed. So that blue light can interfere with your body's natural sleep cycle. So try to avoid the screens at least an hour before going to bed. And if anyone was on our call last year in November, we talked to the sleep expert. She also had these things to say about how you get a good night's sleep. So tip number 4, create an inviting sleep environment. You can make your room dark and cool, invest in good pillows and blackout curtains. Number 5, avoid caffeine and heavy meals before bedtime, or maybe even have a cutoff at 3 o'clock for caffeine if it's too stimulating and harder to fall asleep. Number 6, place your alarm clock further than arm's reach, or maybe even the other side of the room, so that you actually have to get up out of bed to turn it off. And then when you wake up and get out of bed, splash your face with cold water and brush your teeth, and that will help wake you up. Number 7, expose yourself to natural light in the morning. Getting that sunlight into your eyes as soon as possible will help you to wake up and regulate your internal body clock, making it easier to get up the next day. Number 8, have a reason to wake up early. Have a purpose or a goal for waking up can make it easier to get out of bed. And certainly this next routine, which I'm going to give you, will help it make it easier. Number 9, stay consistent. Consistency is key when waking up early. Stick to your routine, even on days when it's tempting to sleep in. But overall, I would say just listen to your body. Do what is important for your body to regulate. Okay, next slide, please, Cherie. Okay, Benjamin Franklin says, early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
Wise.
So now that we've covered how to get up, let's look at what we do when we get up. When you consider setting up your day for success, we start with the letter J, the first letter in the jigsaw method. When you don't implement this letter, your mind will be scattered, your results will be random, and you'll find yourself lacking that accomplished feeling. When you do this letter, J, you'll create clarity and certainty each and every day. You'll know exactly what you are achieving and what's next. So what's this letter? J is for journaling. As Sandra Marinella said, journal writing gives us insights into who we are, who we were, and who we can become. When it comes to journaling, there are so many ways to journal and purposes for journaling. But in this session tonight, I'm just going to give you my top 3 tips to make the most out of every day. But first, what do most people do when they wake up? As far as our survey goes that we did in the chat, most people will look at their phone or check on the kids or their pets. But when you look at your phone, you're already engaging with outside influences. We want to bring your thoughts and actions out and ideas out of you and get them down onto paper. I believe that journaling is one of the most powerful and easy ways to get on top of your day. This one action, I believe, if you implement it after this call, will be worth getting on this call for. But I'm going to give you way more than that. So stay on with me till the end. What we do is we do a brain dump. So we get out everything out of our thoughts and we begin by writing a to-do list. Now, there's nothing new about writing a to-do list, but there's a big difference between knowing and doing. So if you've got a piece of paper in front of you, if you can grab it and a pen, and you can write your to-do list. The next thing I get you to write is your universe list. This list comes from your heart and expresses what you really want to have happen. And then the third thing I get my participants in the jigsaw to do is their intentions for the day. Now, it's not what you want to accomplish, but it's how you want to show up in the day. So when we learn about the jigsaw method and journaling, we cover more than these ways to journal. But right now, I want to give you a sense of how powerful these lists can be. So with your paper and pen that you have, I want you to write at the top a heading called universe list. So you might have those other 3, but we're just going to work on right now your universe list. Now, your universe list is not your goals. It's your wish list. It's like if the universe could give you anything that you wanted, what would you ask for? Okay, now I'm going to give you about 40 seconds just to come up with 3 things that you would love the universe to give you. Okay, you can do that now. Okay. Now, Cherie, if you could stop share for me. And I want to work with somebody that would like to share just one thing that you've got on your universe list. Who would like to work with me? Who waved at me?
I'll do it.
Okay, Maria. Beautiful.
All
right, lovely. What's one thing that you had on your universe list?
A trip to Tonga because I want to swim with the whales there.
Wow, beautiful, Maria. So Maria said that she wrote down on her list that she'd like to have a trip to Tonga. That sounds amazing. Maria, how did it feel to write that on your list?
It felt easy, like a shopping list. It's easy to write it down.
Beautiful. Yeah. And what did it do for you?
It's interesting because it sort of starts to materialize it instead of just being a thought. So once it's down on paper, it helps it to be, yeah, sort of something a little bit more tangible. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing that, Maria. Would you agree, and this is to everyone, that by writing a universe list, you're able to uncover some things that are important to you? Give me a show of hands. And can you see that it can give you clarity of what you want? So you can have whatever it is that you want. So you can have whatever you want, but first you must get clear on what it is that you want. So first, know what you want to get what you want. Know what you want to get what you want. Now, we don't have time to go through every letter tonight, so we're going to skip the letter I in Jigsaw, and we're going to move on to the letter G. This letter, if not attended to, will cause you misery, no matter how rich or poor you are. When given the proper focus, this word will make you feel like you're floating in the fountains of abundance. This letter, G, is for gratitude.
I was going to say gold.
Gratitude is gold, yes, because it's the highest of all the attributes. So when we're in a state of gratitude, you can't actually be in a state of misery at the same time. Those two things can't exist at the same time. We talk about when we're in a state of gratitude, it actually raises our vibration. And this is really important. So on this slide, and it's probably difficult for you to see if you're on a phone, but maybe you can make it bigger. But on this is a range of emotions, starting with fear at the bottom, working its way up to anger, then up again further, and I won't go through all of them. It goes to number 8, boredom, and then we cross a line over to number 7, contentment. And these emotions above the line, hopefulness, optimism, positive expectation and belief, enthusiasm, happiness, working up to number 2, passion, and then number 1, joy, appreciation, empowerment, and freedom and love. This is where we attract good things happening to us. So just like if you were to walk into a room and somebody's upset, you can feel that tension in the air, even without anyone saying anything. Similarly, if you're feeling that joy, the passion, the happiness and love, people are going to experience that around you naturally, right? You attract those things. So none of these emotions are bad because they all have their place, but it's choosing to be in a emotion that is above the line that will bring more of what we want into our lives. We're going to actually do a little exercise now around gratitude. I'm going to, on your page, I'm going to get you to write down 8 to 10 things that you're grateful for and 3 things that are concerning you at the moment. And I say 8 to 10 because sometimes those last few are a bit tricky. So go ahead and do that now. And then when you finish doing that, just write done in the chat. How'd you go with that? If you haven't written down 3 things that are concerning you, just do that now.
Okay.
Cheryl, are you able to work with me?
Sure.
Do you have something on your list that you would like to have help around what's concerning you?
Yeah, concerning me not having enough time to do everything.
So, okay, so being busy, having a lot on your plate to do and not being able to get it all done.
Yeah, or maybe procrastinating too.
Okay. So let's just get that clear. Are you
Okay.
concerned about a habit of procrastination, or are you concerned about just not being able to finish what's on your to-do list?
Yeah, it's not, but yeah, I've got all these things I need to do, and it's just finding the time to do it is a struggle.
Okay. Can you say one thing on there that because I just want to narrow it down so that we're really, really clear about what's the underlying concern, because we're always going to have, successful people are busy. So there's a feeling of, I'm just not getting to do all the things that I want or need to do.
Yeah, that I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
how's that?
just like, for instance, like in regards to the kids as well, it's booking an appointment. I seem to be having like heaps of bloody appointments lately. Superannuation stuff I need to do, all these things that kind of have to be done soon, and just trying to balance the time to get it done.
Okay. What does it say about you, Cheryl, that you have all these things to do? If you could bring gratitude to the situation, what do you think you could say about that?
Well, I would say I am grateful that I have enough time to do everything.
Or what does it say about you that you have all these things to do?
Or maybe I overload myself or take too much on.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'm going to maybe offer to you as a suggestion, you are a type of person who is up to big things in life. And because you're a mum, you wear lots of different hats, right? You work, you start a business.
Yeah.
Person who's up to big things. Would you say that?
Yes.
And because you're a person who's up to big things, you're going to have a lot on your plate. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not going to disappear all the stuff that there is to do, but I want to acknowledge you, and I want you to acknowledge you as a person who is up for it.
I like a challenge.
You do.
Not,
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, you're not the kind of person who's just going to sit there and ignore all the things that there is to do. And you're not the kind of person who wants to lead a small and quiet life and don't give me challenges because actually I'm not up for it. You are a person who is up to big things in life.
Yes.
And so I want you to take on being grateful for that attribute of you that really makes a difference in the world. That you are a person you're a great mum, you attend to your kids, you go out of your way to make stuff happen, and to the best of your ability, you're organized and getting done what there is to get done.
Yeah.
Now, when you think of it that way, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, well, it makes me feel better. It puts a bit of a positive twist on it.
Yeah. And knowing you, Cheryl, are you going to let anything on that list get you down?
No.
You're going to get to them, aren't you?
Definitely.
Yeah. So you're a person who knows how to accomplish things. And that's what's really great about you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl, for participating with me in that. For everyone now, if you take a look at those things that are on your list, and if you look at them through the eyes of gratitude, what now can you say about those things that have been concerning you? Would you agree that by practicing a daily habit of gratitude, that it would lead to a feeling of overall more happiness in your life?
Yeah. So Kelly, it's a matter of reframing things for a sort of a better perspective that will help you as opposed to hinder you.
Absolutely, Maria. And in our daily gratitude practice, sometimes it's really easy just to write down the things that are going well.
Yeah.
And we look around and we're happy to see this and we're happy to see that. But sometimes it's really effective to write down those things that are concerning and looking at those through the eyes of gratitude, because we get to see, because we have certain situations in our life difficult, it actually broadens our life. Well, if someone would like to share an example of something that you wrote down that was a concern, and that now you're looking through it through the eyes of gratitude, and you can see that that is actually a blessing to you. Did anyone experience that writing that down just now? Marie, do you want to share one?
Yeah, I've got one. I put down my bio clock is ticking, you know, because concern about getting older. And so with coming through the eyes of gratitude, you know, I can be grateful for my life experience and, you know, my health and well-being, because despite, you know, getting older, that where I'm at is actually, there's a lot to be positive or grateful for.
Beautiful. Thanks, Maria. That's a really great one. And because, you know, all of your experiences that you've had now blesses others' lives. Yeah. And you couldn't do that if you weren't at the place that.
No. And would we really want to go back to our 20s?
Exactly. All right. So put a yes in the chat if you already have a habit of writing a daily gratitude list, or if you are ready to start doing so.
Doing gratitude is actually kind of similar in a way to manifesting.
100%. Yes. And so my challenge to each of you, I want you to give a compliment or praise or give gratitude to someone who appeared on your list. I'm sure each one of you had a person that appeared somewhere on your list. And if not, maybe you can find someone that you can give gratitude to within the next 48 hours. If you're willing to take on that challenge, give me a thumbs up. Beautiful. And if you're watching the replay, I know a lot of people are hanging out for the replay of this. So I challenge each of you to do that. And then you can come back to our Telegram chat and share. Cherie, I'll get you to go to the next slide. Okay, gratitude is the key that opens the door to abundance. From unknown, gratitude is the key that opens the door to abundance. We're going to take a look at the last letter that we're going to do together tonight, and that is the letter S. So when we do the jigsaw method, we actually cover off 2 S's, but tonight we only have time to do 1. So without this letter S, you might feel an increased level of stress and anxiety, which can result in difficulty managing our emotions. But when you do start your day with this letter S, you'll feel more at peace, centered, calm, and focused, which will set you up your tone positive for the rest of the day. So that letter S that we're going to talk about tonight is for silence. So when you think of silence, you might think of just being still. You might think of prayer or meditation. You might even think of breath work. I believe that any of these forms of being silent can be hugely positively impacting on our day, but not only for our mind and our health. But I believe meditation was the one thing that made a difference to me, that actually helped me create the expo, the summit, and the festival all coming together. And this all happened in silence. So you may have heard of Vision Lakhani. He's the founder of Mindvalley. It was through Mindvalley meditations that I came across my own personal development. And so he really took me on a journey of meditation, and I recommend that. And if anyone wants some really great meditation guided practices, to look up that Mindvalley. So it's so good for your mental clarity, emotional balance, and he takes you on a 28-day program of meditation. Another book that I want to recommend from Michael A. Singer is called The Surrender Experiment. And this is a really good look at meditation. So right now I could share with you a really simple meditation, or I could take you through an advanced meditation. So, but given the time, I think what we might do is the way that I actually help my children get into a meditative state. Okay, so once you're in a meditative state, then really great things can happen. It's not about trying to not to think. Some people think meditation is about don't think any thought. This is the space that I get all my great visions. So I'm just going to talk you through what I do with my children when I actually want to help them to get into a meditative state. And I do this actually as a way of settling them down for sleep. But you could take on this as a practice that would help you get into a meditative state. So what I do is I think about the colors of the rainbow, and I start at red, and I think about all the things that are red. So you might want to sit comfortably in your chair, and I'll do this with you. And just lean back, take a nice breath in, breathe it out. So when you think about the color red, you might think about red lipstick, or watermelon, poppy flowers, capsicum. Then we move to the color orange, and we think about oranges and marmalade, and all the things that we can think of the color orange. And then we move to the color yellow. We think of daffodils, bananas, lemons, and then we move to the green. Think about broccoli and limes, celery, and we move to the color blue. And we think about the ocean and the sky and all the things that are blue. And then we move into purple and think about eggplant and passion fruit and all the things that come up that are purple. And then we move into violet. And think of all the violet things that come to mind. You might know it as lilac. And then we're going to count back down from 10, down to 1. And as we count, we imagine going down a ladder, and it's going deeper and deeper. So we count down from 10, stepping down 9, down 8, 7, 6, stepping down, going lower and lower, 5, going deeper and deeper, 4, deeper, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going deeper. Now you're landing into your happy place. And take a look around. What do you see? What do you hear? What can you smell? Who's with you in your happy place? Taking a deep breath in, breathe out, and then I'm going to get you to come back to your senses, and when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Okay, Now that's just a simple way that I center, first of all. And then when you're in that happy place, then you can be. There's no need to do, nowhere to get. So would you agree that a daily practice of meditation could enhance your experience of life? If you do the jigsaw with me, I'll take you on the 3 scenes technique. 3 scenes technique can actually take you from where you are to where you want to be in a very short space of time. Okay. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. So today I've introduced you to the jigsaw method. We started with J for journaling, and I gave you some of my favorite tips to get you started with the Power Hour tomorrow if you wanted to. If you'd like to participate in the jigsaw method, you can actually see on the screen all the spaces that we go through. We do 1 thing per day for 5 days, except on some of those days we double up. So we double up on 2 things for the silence, and we double up the W for water on the first day as well. So you could get started doing your own jigsaw method morning. But if you would like to do it together, where you have accountability and coaching along the way, then you can do the jigsaw method with me. We have a new session starting on the 1st and 3rd Monday of the month. So, Sheree, do you want to go to the next slide for me? So we do that between 6:30 and 7:30, Monday to Friday. And if you'd like a later session, then just let me know, because for some people's timetables or wherever you are in the world, it might work for us to do a 9:30 here so that it's not ridiculous hour where you are. So we can make that work as well. Just reach out to me. Or you can go to the website myselfreliance.com.au and register there. As we close up today, I want to take you back to that mum who had the dream of changing the world but couldn't get out of her pajamas. I'm glad to tell you today that I'm no longer in my pajamas at this moment or in the morning. So I'm quickly out of my pajamas in the morning. The good news is that when you do the jigsaw method, you actually get me as your coach, along with the other participants. We bring the puzzle pieces of guidance and accountability together, along with these 6 letters, so that you don't have to take as long as I did to get the results that you are wanting. Remember, first you need to know what you want to get what you want. Know what you want to get what you want. And with that, I want to wrap up tonight and thank you all for being here and participating in those letters that we've covered off tonight. And Sheree, if you can go to the next slide. Here's how you can reach out to me. There's my phone number, my email address, kelly@myselfreliance.com.au. You could text me, you could reach out, you could come jump into our Telegram channel, or you can find this recording on our YouTube and all the other recordings that we do on our YouTube channel. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram as well. So all those great spaces. If you want that, the infographic of the jigsaw, so you can see all those pages. If you're a member of the website, you can actually download that and print that off. It's under the recommended pages, the free printables in there. So you can log on and get those free printables and print that off so that you can have a reminder of what the jigsaw method is. So thank you everyone for participating tonight. I really value your being here. Keep recording if anyone wants to share anything from your experience of being in the Jigsaw program or doing your morning routine, I'll open it up to you to share.
Can I just say something, Kelly?
Yes, please, Maria.
Yeah, I just fantastic, the program and your work there. That's brilliant. I just want to shout out for somebody like you, Kelly, because I do just some coaching myself, and how your role to help people to get past the humps that invariably come up along a journey. You know, often there's that great start, that intention and that motivation, but then we get confronted by some of our things after a few weeks. So yeah, shout out for you, Kelly, as a coach, to be able to help people as well, because having somebody to champion you and to point out where you're straying from where you want to be is gold. So yeah, well done, Kelly.
Oh, thanks, Maria. Do you know what the good thing about this program, Maria, is you don't just get the first 5 days where we learn about each of the steps and how to implement them, but you actually become a Jigsaw method graduate. You can actually jump in and do the program, like revisit it for life. So you get the program for life. It's so good. You get to be part of the memberships. And we only run the 5-day workshop every other week so that graduates can jump in and do it together on the off weeks. So it's great. You really do have that accountability and that coaching available to you.
And community too. Yeah,
yes.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
So thank you, Maria. Really appreciate your words there. All right. Well, in 2 weeks' time, Roxy Labras, and we'll be talking about how to be prosperous at this time in business and in life. And so, you know, we all need our finances to be prosperous. So she's going to share with us about that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you.
Night, everyone.
Very good.
Night.
Night, everyone.
Hi, I'm Kelly Wilkins. I am the founder of My Self-Reliance. Here at My Self-Reliance, we like to gather the community together. It's been amazing, actually. The sense of community, the connection between the people. We are all coming from different walks of life, from different backgrounds, but feeling in harmony together, aligned with the same purpose is just amazing. And the people here have depth of knowledge, experience, and skills, and they are wholeheartedly sharing it with the whole community. This is just amazing.
It's been fantastic to be at the My Self-Reliance Festival. I'm here presenting a fermentation workshop, so that was lots of fun this afternoon. We got to make a bunch of sauerkraut, fermented veggies, do some fermented sodas, and just learn about gut health and how to preserve and how to live a healthier life.
I get excited when I see other people get excited that they can do what I'm teaching. So I did 72-hour go bags, and it's a way to be self-reliant and prepared for a time of crisis. And I really enjoyed being able to share that with people, because it helps other people see that they can be much more self-reliant, much more prepared for emergencies and crisis, and that they can be this person of calm in a time of chaos, which is really important, I think, in these days.
Every time I just take myself from where I am today to where do I want to be, and I just take those little baby steps. Move myself. Okay, where do we are today? Where do I want to be?
I also came here to learn and to be a part of a greater community that can actually help us come together as community and be self-reliant in any situation, whether that be survival situations, whether that be to look after each other as a community using the resources that we have, using the food resources or emergency equipment.
I think I've enjoyed most about today is being at the beginning of something that you can see will grow over the coming years. So it's really lovely to have known Kelly and to see it from ground up.